Have you ever been caught up in a moment and forgotten about what's around you?
Yes, I have actually. Around two years ago, I was traveling around Mexico. I went backpacking by myself, and I met a group of Mexicans. And we decided to go to this beach called Cipolite. And this beach is really not very famous at all. It was not touristy, just used by the locals. And right next to the beach there was a beautiful mountain, and we were told that if we climb up this mountain, at the top there you can see amazing sunsets. So we decided to like climb up the mountain and see the sunset. And like climbing up the mountain, it was just pure forest until we got to the top, and there were incredible views of the sunset. So me and my friends, we decided to stay there for a while, because the sunset was so beautiful. We didn't want to get back down. We were chatting and talking, and before we knew it, we turned around, and the mountain, which was full of people, suddenly there was no one. There was no one there. Everyone seemed to have got back down the mountain before dark, and we didn't think anything of it. We didn't know why. We were like, okay. And but in the distance we saw three other people, so we were like, okay, well, there are three other people with us. But so we stayed there a little while longer until we felt, okay, maybe we should go back down the mountain now. And we weren't prepared at all. We hadn't brought torches or anything, so we were using our phones for light, and it was pitch black. It was around 10 p.m. And as we began to walk back down the mountain, the three other people that we'd met, we started talking to them, and they joined us to go down the mountain. So as we were walking, we had to walk in single file line, as it was a really thin path to get down. And I was third from the front, and at the front was my friend, and suddenly, as we were about to get down the mountain, suddenly I saw him and he went down on his knees, and I was confused. I was like, why is he on his knees? When suddenly I turned and I saw that there was a man right next to him pointing a gun at his head and telling him to give him all of his belongings and money and anything that he had. So, and this man, the image of this man I'll always have in my head. He looked like a fisherman. He had like shorts, and he had a huge machete in his pocket and with a gun, and he had like a balaclava. He was wearing a kind of balaclava. He'd like covered his face, and he just came to us with his weapon. He was like, everybody get down, give me everything that you've got. So I was desperately trying to like give him my bag and give him my stuff, terrified that something was going to happen to us. Then once we'd given him everything, he turned and looked to me, and he was like, where are the other three people? And I was like, what three people? And I turned around, and the other three people who we just met had run away. And I was like, I don't know them, I don't know who they are. And he was really angry. He had rage in his eyes. Suddenly, well, he told us that we had to follow him, and we were like, why? And he was like, follow me. And he took us back to where we came from, right to the peak of the mountain. And my heart was thumping. I was terrified, thinking that he might throw us off the mountain or try to kill us. And I was just thinking about how my mum and my dad didn't know where I was at this point, and they didn't realize where I was. So how would they know if anything would happen to me, or where would they find me? And the man says to us, right, so I'm gonna leave now, but if I see you again, there will be consequences. And he runs away with our things. And the three of us just stand there completely shocked and paralyzed with fear. and we don't know what to do or what to say, and we don't have anything. We don't have our phones, we don't have any light. We're in the middle of a mountain with a forest around us, and we're just completely terrified. By this time, the other 3 people who had run away came out behind the bushes where they'd been hiding, and then the 6 of us decided to try and make our way back down the mountain. Obviously, we were terrified about going down the mountain because the guy said that if he saw us again, he would hurt us, and that was the only exit off the mountain. So we were afraid that in the trees, at any moment, he could have jumped out and stolen the other 3 people's belongings. So the 6 of us, hand in hand, almost knelt down on the floor through the jungle, began to walk really slowly so we wouldn't make any noise, not using any lights or anything, to try and get down the mountain. As we were walking, we came to a path, a fork in the road, and we didn't know which path to take, and we were really afraid that we wouldn't be able to get back home. But eventually we found the path, and then we finally got down the mountain, and we told the police our story. But that was definitely the most terrifying experience I've ever had.
Has this experience changed the way you act in certain situations?
Well, I definitely think right now I'm more wary when I'm traveling. I make sure that if I go somewhere, I make sure that my parents know where I am. I make sure that I call them when I'm traveling in different places. I make sure that I'm not doing stupid things like being on the top of a mountain, pitch black, dark, in the dark, trying to get back down without a torch. So yeah, definitely. I am definitely more aware now of my surroundings and of the dangers that could happen.
In conclusion, I think the message of the story is that it's really easy to get caught up in a moment, but this one moment can quickly be destroyed by dangers that surround us, which can change your life forever.